Hi guys, welcome back to the wood turning section of my YouTube channel. We've been dealing in the preceding videos with various wood turning finishes that I've tried over the years, some of which I've been very happy with, some of which I've not been very happy with, some of which I use a lot, some of which I use every now and again. This is the final video, I think it is anyway, and it's got a couple of waxes in that you may not have, not waxes, oils, which you may not have heard of before. Basically what we're going to start with is this one at the front. This is Liberon, and this is raw linseed oil. Now, you may have heard of it, you may not have heard of it. What you've probably heard of is boiled linseed oil. That's generally excuse me, that is generally what is sold, but this is raw linseed oil. It doesn't really have any great advantage over boiled linseed oil. In fact, it has one big disadvantage, and that's drying time. Raw linseed oil takes an insane amount of time to dry. In fact, some say that it never actually does dry. Years ago, before there was double glazing and whatnot, they used to seat glass panes in windows in a stuff called putty. If you've heard of it, maybe the older turners know what putty is. Well, basically putty used to have raw linseed oil in it, and that kept it malleable, stopped it from cracking, or helped stop it from cracking. It takes an age to dry, so I don't use it as a neat oil. I don't use raw linseed on its own. What I'll do is I'll mix raw linseed oil with other oils that have dryers in and make my own concoctions. For instance, I'll mix raw linseed oil in with tung oil, not pure tung oil, but chestnut products tung oil. That then gives an incredibly hard wearing oil that sinks deep into the grain. Tung oil tends not to want to seep deep into the structure of wood, whereas when you mix it with some raw linseed oil, that seems to help draw it into the wood, and it gives that deeper finish. You know, you get that deeper looking glistening you can see into the wood. Well, that's where the raw linseed oil comes in, but because the tung oil has got dryers in with it, it also helps dry the raw linseed oil. So instead of taking months or weeks, you know, you're looking at days. Right, but as I say, I don't use it neat. I only mix it with other oils because it takes an insane amount of time to dry. So we'll put that one to the back. Next up, this oil in the middle is probably my most used oil. Chestnut Products, again, fantastic company, been using the products for years. This is finishing oil. I couldn't tell you what's in it. I don't really particularly want to know. All I know is that it's a fantastic oil. It's a hard wearing oil. It draws itself deep into the wood, gives a lovely warm glow to the wood. It's a brilliant oil. I highly recommend this stuff, really do. Whenever I visit my local wood turning shop, I can buy 3 or 4 tins of this, no problem. I'm a big lover of oil finishes, and by far the most you know, the most... I'll start again. I'm a big lover of oil finishes, and this oil is by far the most used oil that I use. It really is. If you haven't tried it, give it a go. I don't think you'll regret the purchase. It really is brilliant. It does have tung oil in there, as well as other different things, but I don't know exactly what is in it. I'm not going to say what I think's in it, because that's not fair. But it's a brilliant oil. Highly recommend it. We'll put that behind. Next up is Next up is an oil. An oil that some of you may have heard of, some of you may have used, and some of you may not have heard of. Lemon oil. If I opened this tin and this camera had smelly vision built in, you would be able to smell the most beautiful lemony smell. If you coat a wood turning with this stuff, it will smell of lemons for weeks and weeks, probably months. It's beautiful, but the only downside is it leaves a matte finish. It will not build up into a satin or a shiny finish, a gloss finish. That's the only downside to it, but it's a lovely oil. It used to be tremendously expensive, but it's come down in price a hell of a lot. Don't use it a great deal, because I'm not into matte finishes a great deal, but I thought I'd better get a can just in case. So there you go. That's Chestnut Products lemon oil. The next up is a wax. It's an oil, but it's actually called hard wax oil. Now, I had never heard of this stuff before, and I'm sure most of you out there have never heard of it before. But Chestnut Products again, they make some brilliant products, so I thought, go on, I'll give it a go. And I'm not too bothered about it. If I can explain it, you put it on and it leaves an extremely thick and shiny coat on it. You can then take steel wool or very, very fine abrasive and mat it up, basically, or make it satin. I haven't really got my head around this stuff yet. I may try it on some other items, I'm not sure. I'm sort of half and half about this stuff. In one way I was quite, it was okay, and then in another way I thought, oh no, I don't like that bit about it, but anyway, I thought I'd just show you that stuff. Chestnut Products hard wax oil. Now, it's not made for wood turners. It's basically made for kitchen worktops and stuff like that, I do believe, or floors even. But I thought I'd give it a go. Right guys, that's about it. I think we've just about covered everything that I use. No doubt as soon as I turn the camera off there'll be something else that comes into my head. But I think we've covered most of it. So I'd like to thank you for watching these videos, and I'll bid you a fond farewell, and I hope you'll come back and watch some videos that I make in the future. I will be of course making plenty of other videos in the future. I still to come up with some way of videoing whilst I'm turning. Unfortunately my workshop is small and I can't get a tripod in and myself at the same time, so I'm going to have to sort of jerry-rig something up, or wait while it's sunny, which is not very often in the UK, and put the tripod in the door and zoom in whilst I'm turning. But anyway, I have got quite a few other ideas for videos as well, so this is not the final video. There will be hundreds to come, I promise you. Right, I'll get off, guys. Bid you a fond farewell again. Thank you for watching, and take care in those workshops. Catch you later, guys. Have fun.